411 Live.
Where you can learn about issues that impact us every day. State of world, 411 Live.
Real people, real talk.
Made to help people in our community in every way. For your girl, 411 Live.
Do you ever feel a heaviness weighing you down, just like a heaviness in the atmosphere? I know sometimes I do, and there's no wonder. We are inundated with some of the most negative information. I mean, it hits our social media, it's in our news broadcasts, talking to friends. It's negativity, right? Hello, everyone. I'm Beverly Taylor, and this is the 411 Live. Real people, real talk. Today, we're going to lift some of that heaviness, right? And we're going to talk about something really positive. It's a mingling of mentorship, transformation, all in the arena of music. Intrigued? I hope you are. I have some exciting guests joining me. I have with me Linda Edelstein, CEO of Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, and Adela, I got it right? We were just talking about it. I have a friend whose name was Adela, and this is Adela. So I welcome you. Adela Ramirez.
Yes.
And she is a student, a celloist?
A cellist, yes.
Is it celloist or
Cellist.
Cellist.
Yeah.
Cellist, okay. With MYSO, Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra. And you might be going, Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra? What are we talking about here? But there are so many great things happening within this organization. And these are things not new. It's been going on for a while, but a lot of people just don't know about it. And it's time we talk about it, right? Yes. I was just thinking about the Youth Symphony Orchestra, and I think, there's a thought process when you say symphony orchestra. Oh, okay, that must be the kids from the affluent families or white kids, that kind of thing. Do you run into that?
We do run into that all the time.
Yeah.
And at MYSO, we represent 50% of all of our young people come from populations of color. And so we serve students and families from all over southeastern Wisconsin and northern Illinois that come from every single zip code, more than 90 different zip codes and 60 different communities throughout the region that represent every single individual, every socioeconomic background, every racial and ethnic background, where we become a community that comes together around the power of music to transform lives.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's like you are making a positive impact one note at a time, so to speak,
Yes.
right? So, Adela, you became a part of MYSO, in the fifth grade?
In fourth grade,
In
yes.
fourth grade.
Through the MYSO's progression program.
What made you want to do this?
So I actually got nominated by my second grade teacher to be a part of this program. And I had a piece of paper out in front of me, and it had the progressions program at that time was just string instruments. And so it was either violin, viola, cello, or bass, upright bass. And I really didn't know anything about, my public school was always involved in the ACE program. So and my first grade teacher was also a cellist. So that was probably as much as I knew about it. But I just had this piece of paper out in front of me, and it had the 4 instruments, and I just happened to circle cello. I really didn't know what it was, completely, because I was probably 7 or 6. And I turned it in, and my principal actually kept it on her desk for an extra year. So I started a year late. Over the summer, she had it on her. She wasn't able to turn it in on time. So that was a little bit of a setback. But so then I started in the 4th grade, and I guess I was intrigued by it because I did play the violin for that year that I was missing out in 3rd grade. I played the violin through school.
Okay.
And it was okay. But then I was just so excited to start cello at MYSO in the 4th grade, the next year. And when I did, it was just I knew that I would need it and I would need to be a part of that for a while, and that was just.
And now you're in the 11th grade.
Yes.
And you're still a part of it, right?
I'm still. Yes.
Right. And I think you call her a star.
I do indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and she was talking about going through in school. You're in a lot of schools and within MPS as well?
Yes. We work with more than almost 250 schools throughout the region. And the Progressions program where Adela started, it was started 20 years ago. So we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of that cornerstone program and the 11 that grew from it that were designed to help young people and their families who live in or attend school in the city of Milwaukee who may have limited access to music education. And so with the Progressions program, we and several of the others, we remove every barrier of access.
Okay.
And so we'll provide the instruments and financial resources and private lessons.
Oh, wow.
And in the Progressions program, it's a 2-year, 3-day-a-week, 90 minutes at a time commitment for these 3rd and 4th graders.
Wow.
And in that program, we give them everything they need to be successful. Mm-hmm. And so we often will see young people like Adela start with us in 3rd or 4th grade and stay with us for the full 10 years that's possible for them to be with the program. And throughout that entire time, we continue to give them everything they need, and including summer opportunities where they can go off to do really fabulous nationally recognized programs, and we'll support them throughout that, as well as making sure that they stay connected in their school music programs if they exist, or within our programs and with their private lessons.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Adela, being part of this, have you, I know musically, I mean, you started in the 4th grade, and now you're in the 11th grade. So musically, I know there's been tremendous growth.
Yes.
But do you see growth in other aspects of your life because of this?
I do. I think being able to be exposed to such diversity in young arts at such a young age was so important and has impacted me through, in all aspects of my life.
Yeah.
I think being able to recognize the differences in other backgrounds and being able to empathize with people who, and also just empathize with other city kids who are also like me, and that's just changed my life. And then being able to attend programs outside of MYSO and that have great impacts for diversity in the arts has really motivated me to keep going. And
That's great.
yeah, I don't know. It's just
It's a good fit.
it's
huh?
yeah.
It's a good fit. You know, we were talking because you and I, we met and we were chatting, and I was talking about all the things music does to a person, you know, with your brain, and why music is so important and really essential.
So music is a critically important opportunity for us when we're playing an instrument. That act of learning an instrument and learning how to manipulate the strings or your breath actually connects the 2 hemispheres of the brain in a way that there's no other arts discipline that does that. There's lots and lots and lots of research that demonstrates that, including MRIs that were taken of a jazz musician while he was playing to see the different parts of the brain that light up when you're actually playing an instrument. And what that does is, whether you do it for a few years or you play for your entire life, once those neural pathways connect, they stay connected.
Wow.
And so what we find is exactly what Adela has mentioned about the things that make a difference in your life.
Yeah.
Playing music, teaching music, and that opportunity to connect it through this ensemble work allows our young people to grow their social and emotional skills and things like focus and discipline and teamwork. And they learn humility through that process, because they're having enormous success, and sometimes they have a few failures along the way. And you learn empathy for each other.
Yeah.
You learn confidence. You learn leadership. You learn all of the things you need to be successful in whatever you choose to do in life through this process. So it's such a critically important component of positive youth development that we see our young people grow through that process. And it's inspiring to all of us to watch how that challenge and the nurturing, and it becomes inspirational to each other and to our students.
Right. I really like it because you and Adela, you kind of talked on this. You're bringing different people together. Like you're getting somebody from kind of up in the northern counties with somebody from the inner city, people with different backgrounds, but they're all coming together and they're learning together. So they're learning about each other. To me, that's what the whole country needs, to bring people together, to take away these biases and these fears and all of this kind of thing. And I really like that. And I think when we were talking earlier, you were talking about, now I have the networking down.
I do. I think being able to have those outside experiences has really helped me to start networking easier. And being able to just come, like, no matter the differences in all these people that I'm working with, we're all rooted in the shared, like, love for music and the gift of music, and being able to share that with the community too has always, it's just so great. I love being able to do all of that.
Linda, I imagine you hear a lot of stories with some of these kids growing up, maybe from parents coming to you and saying, thank you.
We do, and we hear it all the time. And interestingly, during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, we went through a process so we shut down like everybody between March and June of 2020, and during that time, we started to think about what our young people were missing and what their families were missing and what we were missing, and we were missing being together. Everyone, young and old and everywhere in between, we need to be connected. We need personal interaction, and that isolation that the pandemic put us through was really challenging. And so we made a determination that we could come back. And so in August of 2020, we had worked out all of the safety protocols to be able to bring all of our musicians back together. And it was very weird. And we took our great big ensembles and split them in half and had 6 and 9 and 20 feet apart from each other. And everyone was masked, and there were shorter rehearsals. It was all of it.
Yeah.
But when we announced to our families in August of 2020 that we were going to come back, I got phone calls, I got emails from parents and young people saying, when we got your note, we were in tears. We were so excited that we'd have something that brought us together. And we saw the opportunity to bring everybody together, even if they were shorter rehearsals, even if we couldn't perform publicly. We videotaped them. We were able to distribute their concerts literally around the world, connecting all of our young people, all of our families, and on our community at large in a way that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So that kind of human interaction really makes an enormous impact. But we also hear from our young people that I didn't know anything about music. I didn't know anything about classical music. That was the last thing I thought I'd want to do.
Right.
And they come into a program like Progressions, and it literally transforms their idea about who they are and what they can do and what they can become. And sometimes they choose to become professional musicians. Sometimes they choose to become scientists. Sometimes they choose to become teachers. But every single walk of life, they're represented, and they're represented because of the opportunities that they've had and how they learn how to express themselves and connect with one another through this work.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We're going to take a break, And when we come back, I want to know where you go when you play.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Stay with us. You're listening to the 411 Live. Real people, real talk.
You know, how you feel on the inside is just as important to me as how you feel on the outside.
Oh, Daddy. I'm grown up in every way, care and take care of you. You're my grown up and I know you're there. I'm your grown up and you know I care. 'Cause it's you and me and me and you. So when you are okay or not okay, I'll take care of you.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back to the 411 Live. I am Beverly Taylor talking to two wonderful people, talking about music. Oh, man. Linda Edelstein, who is the CEO of Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, and, of course, Adela Ramirez. Adela, I want to know, because I hear you're a star, right? Where do you go? I mean, when you're in the zone and you're playing, where do you
Right.
where does it take you?
I think as much as it gets really frustrating, I think there's just a great appreciation for what I've been gifted to do. And I think, as you've mentioned, the progressions program gave me the resources to start exploring a life of music. I think I always fall back on all those great memories that I had, starting especially with my private lesson teacher, Ravenna Housen. Always going back to her, and all the guidance that I've had from her has just been so, it has changed my life. I mean, I always go back to appreciating just being able to share that with other people, and sharing the love that I have for music with others. And I want everyone to feel how I feel so deeply about music. So I try to share that with anyone, that, my friends, can you just listen to this, please? This is, I just love it. Or I want you to hear this. I try to share those moments, and being able to play for people. And when I'm practicing, just thinking about how I'm going to be able to play and express myself to an audience, and portraying a message to them, and deciding what I want to say through expression and my music. I think that's where I go most of the time.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. You guys are really, I when I was introducing all of this, and I was saying that you're really impacting, we were talking about the numbers in the break, talking about, how many students you're touching, and you gave some startling numbers. Give me that again.
Sure. We've been so busy over the last 68 years at the Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra. We started with 30 students. It was an after-school program.
Which is amazing to me. But
right?
Go ahead.
Because there was music in all the schools back then.
Oh, yeah.
So there was an opportunity to help supplement what was happening in the schools. And we've grown over the years, and with the advent of our partnership with First Stage and the creation of the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, which is our home at MLK and Walnut, we were able to start serving the community in deeper, even more meaningful ways, and expand our programs. So in 2003, we started that progressions program, and it's the cornerstone of what has become 11 community partnership programs.
Wow.
So as we mentioned, the progressions program is for 3rd and 4th grade students who live in or attend school in the city. And soon after that, we were able to start a jazz program.
Nice.
And where there's jazz in schools, it's usually a big band. So we said, let's create small jazz combos. So that's available for young people throughout the community. We have a steel band program that we also started for kids who live in or attend school in the city of Milwaukee. It's a fully scholarshiped program, just like the Progressions program for middle and high school students. We have a community concert series where we invite schools throughout the city of Milwaukee to come in to performances. We do 27 to 30 performances a year for these free peer-to-peer concerts. We've served nearly 100,000 students through those programs.
Yeah.
We have directly served in these community partnership programs nearly 4,500 students over the last 20 years. So we're very excited about the depth and breadth of the students that we serve in these widely diverse programs.
Right.
So that's grown our organization to serve nearly 1,000 students every year, and through from a single orchestra back in 1956 to 40 different ensembles, from full symphony orchestras and bands and the steel bands, and opportunities for our young people to compose music and have their compositions premiered by our ensemble the year that they write it. We take international tours. We just came back from Belgium and the Netherlands with 97 of our top students. So there's so many opportunities for everyone of every level, from 8 to 18 throughout our programs.
Right. You were talking about partnerships, and we were mentioning Strive 365. You partner with them as well, right?
We do. So we started a pilot program with Strive 365, an organization that is devoted to trauma-informed programming. And they are working with us and working with our teaching artists in these community programs to give them tools to help our young people understand and process the stressors that they have in life, in school, in their ensemble, with their music. And so what we're starting to see is that they're working those activities into their rehearsal setting now. We will, throughout the course of the year, begin rolling this out throughout all of our ensembles, and we'll start to see how we can continue to help our young people find the tools, not just through their music, but through every other opportunity to help them manage stress and be able to face these things together with the tools they need to be successful.
That's awesome. That is awesome. It sounds like you guys continuously grow and expand.
It's always our opportunity to continually think about how can we reach our young people and their families in our community in deeply meaningful ways. Our mission is to nurture, challenge, and inspire
I like that.
our young people through music. And we profoundly change their lives and our community for the better. And so as we continue to think about what are the ways we can do that, what do our young people need today? How are we measuring the success of their mental health and the stresses that they're under? So we're working with Marquette University to evaluate the work of music participation and their mental health.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll be doing that work throughout this season and should have results later this year.
So that research deals with how music and participation in music affects the mental health?
Yes, and affects their positive development over time.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You're sold. I mean, I can tell that you are very proud of what MYSO is doing, accomplishing, and what it can accomplish.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a fabulous team of teaching artists and music directors and an administrative team who truly believe in our mission and live it out every day. They live it with their dedication and their devotion to all of our young people and our families. And we very consciously call it a MYSO family. And we invite people into that family. And because of that, we do create connections across the community that would never happen otherwise. You know, young people and families who might be familiar with their own school community or their own neighborhood, but might never have a chance to meet another student, another family from a different part of the community.
Right.
You mentioned Central City to the suburbs. They're together all the time, every week. And the families come together at our home at the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center. And so there's an authentic, natural connection that happens there that creates community in a truly meaningful way because their kids are playing together.
Right. Right. And I mentioned that earlier. I was talking about the kids coming together from different backgrounds and things. And I didn't think about the families, but they're coming together as well.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that. Yeah. So what do we have to look forward to? Or if somebody's listening and going, my kid needs to be a part of this, you know, what do they do?
Reach out to us at MYSO.org. There's you can fill out the contact form and email it in to us at general@myso.org, or you can give us a call at 414-267-2950, 414-267-2950, and we'd love to talk with you. We'd love to invite you to become part of the MYSO family, too.
That's great. Are there any myths about MYSO?
Myths.
Kind of misconceptions that you would like to just kind of break?
Maybe really time-consuming rehearsals. I mean, sometimes they can be stressful before a concert, but it always is pulled together, like really almost seamlessly, I would say. And I think a lot of people are nervous about the time commitment and then them losing homework time or time to study. But I think I still find it's going to be busy, but it's a great experience, and I think you don't want to miss out on it,
right? Because
you grow so many friendships there too. And so I'll be talking to some kids at MYSO about classes that we share. So I think it's great. I don't think.
Do you think music, being a part of music and that activity, enhances the academics?
100%.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. And in fact, we've done research on our own students over the years. We did a 6-year research study where we wanted to see, as they come through the program over the course of the 9 months from September to May, what are the skills that they grow? And we talked a little bit about those social and emotional skills like focus and discipline and leadership. But we're also looking at cognitive skill development, that academic component.
Right.
And we see growth in critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills, nonverbal communication. When you sit in rehearsal and you are playing with your stand partner or with a person on the other side of the room in that ensemble, you have to communicate, and you're not talking. You're communicating through your instrument.
Yeah.
And so you have to learn all of these really fabulous skills that will allow you to do whatever you need to do successfully in life. And in that research, what we found is that the students in a 9-month period, and this was consistent year over year, grew their social skills by 73%.
Oh, my goodness.
From September to May. And their cognitive skills by 87% in that same time period. So, and you think this happens year over year over year, and that those skills just continue to develop. The longer they do it, the more they do it. But even within 1 year, the skills they develop stick with them their whole lives. When we talk to our alumni, they tell us more than 96% of them told us the skills they need in their adult life, they attribute to what they learned playing music.
That's beautiful. Hey, guys, we're done.
Thank
That went
you.
fast, didn't it?
It sure did.
This is great. I am so glad that you came to talk about MYSO and all the wonderful things that you guys are doing and contributing and, impacting our young people. And Adela, I look at you and you're flourishing and the whole bit. So this is definitely a bright spot in Milwaukee. So, yeah, I thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Beverly, for inviting us to be here, and thank you for allowing us to tell the story of MYSO. It's always wonderful to have a positive story to share with our community.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Linda Edelstein, CEO of Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, and Adela Ramirez, who is in the 11th grade, who is a star performer, musician, going many, many places. Much success in your musical career. It's exciting, and I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
So thank you both for joining me.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of the 411 Live. Didn't it go fast? I told you. Well, if you would like to help us, because we're a nonprofit organization, and if you're so inclined, go to our website, 411live.org. Until next time, I'm Beverly Taylor. This is the 411 Live. Real people, real talk. If you would like to check out past episodes, there are many ways. Go to your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Like and watch us on Facebook. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have suggestions for future episodes, go to our website, the411live.org. Thank you.